video. I added a couple more layers. Sphere of influence map. The more vibrant colors are. So, more vibrant colors, with the exception of South Africa and I guess China. Those are like the countries that are the spheres of influence. Anyways, the first thing we see is actually okay. First thing we see is the Kazakhstan Union. Now we just have Stan. Are you in the correct one? Yes. Alright. Alright. Anyways, let's do the maps real quick. This is just to see like what countries are in, like, just so we know US has like all of the Caribbean, EU has Scandinavia and Iceland, and they have Greenland. This is economicals, alliances, and again religion. And this is just so people know what they own. Like, if the country doesn't have any overseas territories, like Ukraine, then they just won't be coloured. Anyways, Stanistan. But then we go over to here. Maybe wondering why they're coloured in blue. We see a Moroccan, Algerian, European, Balkanian Union. I'm gonna call it the Mediterranean Union, because it's mainly Mediterranean countries. Like, it has Iberia, France, Italy, Algeria, Morocco, Balkania. Then we go over to here. And let me just go over to this map. You can see they go from the top of Myanmar to Indonesia. And we actually see these two unite. And we see something. That's right. China's getting a lot more Chinese. Also, we see these two unite. And Japan isn't secretly owned by China. I just want you guys to know that. What? Oh, we see a couple more things happen. Like, these guys joined the West African, or no, I think the Saharian Union is what I called it. We see these guys annex this little ex-slave, or not really annexed, like peaceful give. We see these two join Gran Colombia, making that, I'm just gonna call them Pacifica, because it's not just engulf all the Pacific. They're not really a country that's in more than one continent now. Except these guys. And I guess Russia. Actually, I'd say these guys can probably give Russia a run for their money. I'd say if these guys united and made North Atlantica, they would definitely give maybe this section of Afro-Eurasia a run for their money. Anyways, let me just uncolor all of the EU. Also, we see Slovakia join this. So how was everyone's Christmas? I should probably ask that at the beginning of the video. No. It's like, it's time for cake hot steak. Actually, we get rid of one blue country and add another. Why? That's right. This place is having a seizure. First thing we see is like a Nigerian, Cameroonian rebel horse. I don't know what to call these guys, so I'm just gonna call them the Chadidians. I don't know if this is the actual borders, so I'm just gonna do it so it looks more like a face. We see a Mali force. Then we see a Western Saharan force that somehow managed to stretch all the way over to the coast. Yippee! Now the rest of the country, what do? That's right, they die. They're not trying to be mean, they literally just implode. So now it's just a run. And because I can't get bothered to do like a war, let's see how this area ends up. Yippee! Since they can't really get anywhere else, and Mali can have all of this section, they decide to give Western Sahara all of this. Actually, no. They get up to here. You see Mali sort of just extend into this section and take this. And they sort of just take this section and are good. Now, the Chadidians and the Nigerians, I'm actually going to colour them out for a second. This, what I coloured in was mainly where they were, but this is actually how it sort of looked. Anyways, we see that it really looks something like this. I'm kidding, it doesn't really look like this. Looks more like this. You know, I'm not doing it so it looks like a very sad Squidward. That is genuinely how it looked. It's just a coincidence. And this is where the rest of them were. Since that would be very, very depressing borders. You see, Chad get his original border, or something like his original borders. Why? I'm gonna do something that looks like this, like co-ownership between two countries. Actually, so it's easier to see, I'm gonna color it in red. No, I'm gonna just get a random color. this is now the cone. No, don't shoot. There's actually one thing I wanted to do up here, and it's like provinces. I'm gonna do it in like a light purple. It is Spain, Portugal, Catalonia. How does France look again? Doesn't from here go like down, up, right, left, down, something like that? There's an Irish one, a Welsh and a Scottish one, and an English one. Instead of seeing just the lowlands get split up, we actually see just a large one. I noticed it's definitely not how it looks, but I don't care. Oh, that's why it looks so weird. I forgot to give Italy their little knob. No, don't shoot. Anyways, back to Thing. There it is. Oh, it isn't there. We see like a Norwegian one. That's all it just slopes off. And we see one like this. And then we see a Karelia one. Going down here, we see a Czechoslovakian one. Volcania. Now, I don't exactly remember what Switzerland and Austria looked like. Let's say it's like this. Yay! And I'm just going to say there's a Polish one and a Bavarian one. I know Bavaria's not a state, but I don't care. What was I going to do again? Right. A Croatian Bosnian one. An Albanian one. A Greek remainder one. A Serbian one, and that's basically it. This... Actually, I'm just going to make that part of the Serbian one. I know it's probably a part of Croatia, or it's just another country in general. I honestly don't care. Just so it's easier for me when I'm colouring, I'm just going to connect each thing by about 1 pixel. Yeah, that looks decent. Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Damn it, damn it, damn it. If that works. Anyways, we see some countries decide to leave. Wait, what the hell? That's the wrong map. Ah, there's the map. We see some countries decide to leave the defensive organization, considering there's not much of a threat. Really, just Korea and Japan. But New Zealand leaves, and Australia, and Southeast Asian Union. I probably called it something else, but I have already forgot. We also see the Raj leave. We see the Brazilian nations leave. Yucatan leaves. And Argentina leaves. What to call that? Anyways, we actually see something happen. We see that these two are technically not in NATO, but they are like, what's the word? They are protected by the US. So we see Russia do a funny Russian thing. Which is bad because Russia didn't really lose any important lands over here, so during their large civil war. So this area is still really up for grabs. Anyways, they begin expanding, eventually till they reach the Korean lines. But then China's like, nah. Instead of them getting invaded, that's just them protecting their borders. They begin getting invaded into core territories until we see North Korea actually revolt. And then we see them fall. Then Japan. Now this is gonna be a bit weird. We see a Russian annexation of the northern lands. Then they get split in half. And North Korea is a state again. But I just wanted to say, like, this chunk of Manchuria is a Russian puppet. And Japan doesn't really change, they just get war reparations. Anyways, let me just quickly... Another thing we see is... I don't actually know what we see next. I know. That is the wrong map. We see in Iran the invasion of the Raj, which is definitely not going to end well. We see them, they take over this much. Oh, That is a bad line. See them take over this much, but then they get... Yeah. Yeah, sorry Iran, you brought this on yourself. It troops just begin flooding in. And then... Ta-da! What happens? You know? There's actually a split between them and Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia sort of just appeared and were like, yo, we're gonna have some land. And then they're like, sure, but just a bit. And then they end up annexing half the country-ish. I think where they annex is like just desert. So anyways. We see Russia do a thing. They call everyone left in their alliance, which is just Ethiopia, Turkey, North Korea. Who else is in their alliance? Actually, I'd say that Mali broke away because they wanted to join their alliance, as well as Chad. Actually, I'm just gonna color them in dark red. Actually, no, color them in dark red. Color this in red, so if they expand out, it'll be... If they extend into here, it'll be like a light blue. What do? Yeah, they begin going after innocent countries. Why? No clue. Oh, anyone? No, they're in NATO. They don't really border near anyone. Actually, they decided to do a war. Against who? Looks like they're trying to reform the Soviet Union. Kazakhstan instantly dies. This country didn't even get to last an episode. And then the rest all just implodes and Mongolia is just land. And what happens is dead. But then we go down. Then we see something a bit stupid. What's the stupid thing? They begin eyeing up. They begin looking at Kurdistan a bit weirdly. Then something happens on the border of them, and these guys are also in NATO, so bink, bap, bop, beep, bap. Oh, that is the wrong country. Oh, the wrong thing. Beep, boop, bop, beep. God damn it. Bop, bop. Beep, boop. Bop, beep, bop. Beep, bop, beep. Also, some non-NATO countries decide to join. Beep, bop, boop, bop, beep. I'm gonna colour this area in purple. And you go back to red. Them, the Raj, China. Let's say something else happened over here. Them, South Korea, Japan, here, all this section, and then them. Now tell me, does this look fair? No, it doesn't. Which is exactly why we saw a couple of years ago, just as Vietnam joined Southeast Asian Union, or CO, I'm just going to call it CO, we saw a dictator get elected. What does that dictator like? Yeah, he really likes Russia. And Sudan has been really quiet. Why is that? Oh my bloody god. Just why Sudan? Oh, they're on their own team. They like these guys, but want to murder these guys. So what do they begin doing? That's right, the one thing they know how. I'm actually gonna colour this in purple. I mean like a blurple. This in purple. They just begin invading in mass into Egypt. I mean the North Arabian Union. And eventually half their Egypt portion is taken, all of the Jordan, Israel-Palestine portion is taken. Then with help from Chad, the rest of Egypt is taken. And then Libya's died. This dies, and they managed to take full control over it. And then we also see these guys for some reason change over to their side, which is a bit weird. But we begin seeing pushes into the Mediterranean Union. Basically just all of the Saharan sections of it get taken. It looks like a lot on the map, but it really is not. Now it's really just Morocco and the main parts of Algeria left. Not saying this part isn't the main part, but it really isn't, because it's just desert. Now let's just say these guys are definitely dead. Kenya instantly dies. And now we see areas from here, naval from here, and they can go up the coast from here, and also an invasion from Sudan over here. Which is bad, because they immediately managed to somehow take all of this. Let me see some portions of them begin just breaking off. Let me just draw some lines. We see this section, this section, this section. They will break away. Eventually, they manage to get split in half. This southern section dies, and this southern section and this northern section dies. Somehow they died to them, but yeah, okay, they don't. And over the coming years, some countries begin just dying. Morocco dies, all the Middle East becomes communist. We begin seeing portions of the Mediterranean Union begin to splinter. We see Karelia and Finland die. Belarus and Ukraine die. We see Romania die, but Poland's very strong for some reason in this universe. No, oh god, I forgot. Crap. Gonna have to find the tiniest little cracks. Oh, the Germany hole. See this section die, then Belarus die, and oh wait, Bulgaria die, and this part's meant to be Turkey. Then we see Greece die. Then we just see all of Bulgaria fall. And eventually Poland somehow falls. These guys switch to the red team. The British Isles somehow implode. Naval blockade, I don't know. Actually no, that's a good reason. We eventually see like all of the eastern half fall and Poland fall, or the Polish European Union, the Polish state. I'm just gonna call it that. Eventually, Italy and Austria. Italy and what are you called again? Austrian and Italian and Swiss. We see Bavaria fall and the lowlands fall. Eventually, it's just the nope. Eventually, it's just left to the French. Just so we know, these guys instantly die. You see the Taiwanese part fall. This part falls. And we begin seeing forces from over here just instantly begin pouring in. Almost all of Iran, all of Iran and most of Pakistan get liberated. This section falls. Eventually, India falls. And I know I said India, not the Raj. This is basically just India now. We see all of the Tibetan region before the United fall. Oh. It's always that faulty pixel. And then we see a large encirclement over here. They instantly die. Then we see a large hold on, let me just up the pixels. A large encirclement happen here and they all die. Then then Beijing, I think, is either located there or that. Let's say it's just located here. It gets encircled. All of China falls, and they begin holding out. They die, and then, oh god, Argentina dies, and Gran Colombia falls, and then the French fall, and Greenland falls. The Yucatan, Cartel, Mexico, and Chihuahua all fall. Then we see one final place fall, and that is Canada. And also Alaska, I guess. Now it's just left to two countries, China and the US. And we see the US do something quite stupid. We begin seeing states beginning to just decide to go to the communists, like Florida, just all of the Mexican parts, I guess. Cascadia and just the eastern area in general. Then place by place, they just begin dying. You see, like, this section full, this section full. Then the only thing that remains is Virginia. And the president, I don't know who's that, probably Donald Trump's great-great-grandson. Place removed, I don't know. They press a button. What does that button do? It launches a nuke. No, a lot of nukes. To where? To Moscow. All over Turkey. They light up North Korea and down here. They light up Manchuria. They light up just all. Why? They light up all of here. Vietnam gets lit up. The Philippines here, here. We see South Africa get lit up like a firework. We see St. Petersburg get lit up a bit. Then we begin seeing larger ones in Siberia. Sudan gets a big one. This section gets a large as hell nuke. I'm kidding. But then there's one final nuke placed. Where? Right in the heart of Russia. And it engulfs all of here. It goes over to here. Goes down to here, and down to here. And now, the world's gone, but at what cost? Almost everyone's dead from the US lighting everyone up like a firework. Like, seriously, do you think we could survive this? Radiation would definitely begin sweeping across both sides. But they would somehow, but humans would somehow find a way. And that, my friends, is you'll have to find out for yourself in the next episode of Alternate Future. And yes, there's going to be a next episode.